I heard my name spoken like a mistake. Not loudly, not meant for me. It slipped out of a man's mouth in a room I wasn't supposed to exist in anymore. A private lounge above a restaurant. Soft lights. Polished laughter. People who wore approval like perfume. She froze. The glass in her hand stopped halfway to her lips. Her smile didn't fall. It locked. Eyes wide for half a second too long. That was all it took. I didn't turn around. Didn't react. I stayed seated, my back to her, listening to my own name echo in a place she had erased me from months ago. Funny thing about vanishing, people assume you're gone forever. I counted my breaths. Slow. Even. The man beside her leaned in, whispered something urgent. Her fingers tightened. White knuckles. Still smiling. I smiled too. Months earlier, I had done the same thing. Frozen. Silent. Smiling. When she told me she was leaving. Not crying. Not angry. Prepared. He's better for me, she'd said. Better job. Better family. Better future. Her family nodded like a jury delivering a verdict they'd already agreed on. He stood there, hand on her back, calm and chosen. I didn't argue. That confused them. Men are supposed to beg. Or break. Or bargain. I stood up, thanked them for their honesty, and walked out of a life I'd built quietly for years. No messages. No explanations. No closure. I vanished. What they didn't see was what silence does when it's intentional. At night, I replayed every detail, every delay in her replies, the way she hid her phone face down, the sudden dinners with family, the subtle rewrites of our past, how I became temporary without realizing it. I didn't confront her. I observed. Cold observation has a way of sharpening memory. The man she left me for didn't appear overnight. He had been there longer than she admitted, long enough for her family to approve him while pretending I didn't exist, long enough for her to practice leaving me before she ever said the words. And when she finally did, she expected devastation. Instead, she got absence. Now, months later, in that room full of strangers and status, hearing my name dragged out of the past, she knew I was no longer a ghost. I stood up slowly, adjusted my jacket, still didn't look at her, because the truth was already moving. And she was about to realize vanishing wasn't surrender. It was preparation. I finally turned, not toward her, toward the man she chose. He was explaining something about investments, confidence polished into his voice. The kind of man families trust because he looks like a future on paper. He met my eyes mid-sentence. Recognition lagged, then landed. I watched it spread. Confusion, calculation, threat assessment. He knew who I was before she ever said it out loud. She had warned him. Framed me as a phase, a stepping stone. I extended my hand. Good talk, I said. That was it. He hesitated, then shook it. Weak grip, damp palm. He didn't like surprises he couldn't buy his way out of. I leaned in just enough for him to hear me. You should ask her when it really started. I walked past them, didn't look back. I didn't need to, because the work had already been done. While I was gone, I didn't heal. Healing implies forgiveness. I didn't forgive. I learned. Her fiancé's name appeared in places it shouldn't have. Shell companies, quiet settlements. A former partner who disappeared from his resume the same way I disappeared from her life. Patterns repeat when people think no one's watching. I sent nothing to her. Not a threat. Not a warning. Just documents. Anonymously. Precisely timed. 2 weeks later, her engagement announcement vanished. Another week, her family's smiles hardened into panic. Calls were made. Lawyers hired. Rooms closed. She tried to reach me then. Voicemail after voicemail. My name said like a prayer now. Like regret could rewind strategy. I never answered. Tonight wasn't about confrontation. It was about placement. I took a seat at the far end of the room, ordered a drink I didn't plan to finish. Watched the man excuse himself. Watched her follow. Watched the illusion crack. She came to me eventually. Slow steps. Careful face. You disappeared, she said. I nodded. Yes. Her eyes searched me for anger, for need, for permission to explain. She found none. I didn't know you'd be here, she whispered. I know, I said. That's why I am. Silence stretched, heavy, unforgiving. He didn't tell you everything, I added, standing. But he will, eventually. Her breath caught. She knew what that meant. She'd always known I saw more than I said. I walked away before she could speak again. Not because I won, because I didn't need to. Revenge isn't loud. It's structural. I didn't take her back. I didn't destroy her. I removed myself from the equation and let truth do what it always does when given time and light. As I left the building, I felt nothing. Not relief, not satisfaction. Just clarity. Some people leave you for better. Others lose you because they never deserved the version of you that learned how to disappear and return on his own terms.